Yo, what is going on, stock market investors? My name is Jason, and in today's episode, we're going to break down Warren Buffett's entire portfolio, over $350 billion portfolio. Absolutely crazy. He currently holds 44 stocks. We're going to go over each and every one of his positions and how much of these stocks he holds in this portfolio. All right, investors, we're going to break down Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio in three different sections. The first one being the big dogs. These are the stocks that make up the majority of Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio. Then in section 2, this is going to be the billionaires club, right? All these positions will be over $1 billion. And the third and final portion of their portfolio is positions that are $1 billion or less. All right, let's get into it. Let's get this video started, everyone. Here's the top 8 positions in Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio. All 8 of these make up 82% of all the holdings in this portfolio. So they run a very concentrated portfolio. Despite putting $378 billion to work in just 44 stocks, Warren Buffett and his team run a highly concentrated portfolio. This is to say that Buffett invests more of his company's capital in his top ideas. As of the closing bell on May 17th, 8 of Berkshire Hathaway's holdings had a market excess value of $10 billion, with 8 of these core holdings accounting for 82% of the company's $377.6 billion portfolio. And to surprise to no one, the number one holding that makes up almost 40% of Berkshire's portfolio is Apple, even though they did sell 10% of their stake recently in Apple stock, right? They still own $149 billion in Apple stock. That's just a ridiculous, insane amount of stock in one particular investment. In my opinion, I think Buffett and Berkshire are considering trimming this position even more because they were extremely overweight. And if something happens to Apple, their portfolio is going to get absolutely decimated. So they took the responsible action and trimmed their position by, I think, like 9.75%, so almost 10%. Their number 2 investment, $100 billion less than their Apple investment, is Bank of America, coming in at $40 billion. Still a ridiculous number. Bank of America is one of their core positions and a favorite of Warren Buffett. Then we go American Express at $36 billion, Coca-Cola at $25 billion, Chevron at $19 billion, Occidental Petroleum OXY, which is a newer position for Warren Buffett, makes up $15 billion. Kraft Heinz, which has been a dumpster fire of an investment for Berkshire Hathaway, comes in at $11 billion. And then Moody's at $10 billion, coming in at number 8. It is pretty remarkable that these investments make up 80% of the portfolio. I like Apple. I like Bank of America. American Express is a great company. Coke, I like too. They pay a good dividend, so that's why Buffett is in that. Chevron, the energy company, I'm not sure what the next frontier for Chevron is going to be. The same thing goes for Occidental Petroleum, OXY. I'm not sure how much premium we're going to be getting on that type of investment. Oil is already run up so much, and I just don't see Americans paying $8, $9, $10 for a gallon of gas. If that keeps up with that trajectory, EVs are going to become more and more in play. And then you got to pivot to a company like Tesla, in my opinion. Kraft Heinz has not been very good of an investment for them. In the United States, people are moving towards more healthy eating habits. So that's why I think Kraft Heinz hasn't been that great of an investment for Warren Buffett. And then Moody's rounds out the top 8 with $10 billion. Even after selling more than 116 million shares of Apple during the first quarter, the tech giant still accounts for, like I said, 40% of this portfolio. Pretty crazy. All right, now let's move on to the next batch of stocks for Warren Buffett. The other billion-dollar wagers at Berkshire Hathaway, even with a jaw-dropping percentage of Berkshire's portfolio put into those top 8 stocks, there are still 20 additional stocks Buffett and his team are invested in that have a market value ranging between $1 and $8 billion. The top 5 are Mitsubishi, Chubb, Mitsui, Itocho, DaVita and Citigroup, right? Chubb is one of his newer investments. And then we go Citigroup, Kroger, Marubeni, Sumitomo, BYD, and Visa. Okay, so DaVita 5 billion, Citigroup 3, Marubeni 2, Kroger 2, Sumitomo 2, BYD 2. If you take a look at BYD, in the last year, the stock's down 50%. But some of these other ones like Sumitomo and Marubeni and Utocho have done pretty well for Warren Buffett and his portfolio. He has some hits and he has some misses. Then we go down to VeriSign, Amazon, MasterCard, Capital One, Liberty Sirius, XM Radio, New Holdings, Aon, Ally Financial, and Charter Communications. I'm holders in Amazon. I have a little bit of MasterCard. I have a bunch of Capital One, and I just opened up a position in Sirius XM Radio, especially over the last couple weeks where the stock price has come down around $22. There's a bunch of different holdings. There's Series A, Series C, and then there's the Sirius XM Radio by itself stock. So I like the bottom half of these stocks more than the top half. Personally, I don't see a lot of growth coming for these top stocks, but pretty good portfolio. He's got some hits and he's got some misses. If we go down to Warren Buffett's smaller holdings, we've got Snowflake, Liberty, Sirius XM Series A, T-Mobile, Louisiana Pacific, that's a railroad company, Flora and Decor, Liberty Formula One Series. These Liberty ones are all part of this XM Radio Holdings company. The Sirius XM parent company holds a bunch of these little like Liberties and the Formula One Series. Then we have NVR, Diageo, Lennar, Liberty Latin American Series, Jefferson Financial Group, Liberty Latin American Series C, and then Atlanta Braves Holding C. I actually own a little bit of Atlanta Braves stock in my current portfolio. So these stocks in the bottom 16, they're not really going to move the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio at all whatsoever. A lot of the movement, I think, is going to come from these middle stocks, man. A lot of these Japanese companies, there's some Chinese companies, some American companies. There's a good mix of a very diversified middle part of this portfolio for Berkshire Hathaway. I don't see a ton of movement for Bank of America or Coca-Cola or Chevron or Kraft Heinz or Moody's. I think they're more dividend plays. They're just reinvesting their dividends, and that compound growth is really, really expedited by the huge portfolio holdings that Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway has. So let me know in the comments below. Do you like Warren Buffett's portfolio? The majority of it is in these 8 stocks, guys. 82%, and over time it's probably going to be more and more because these dividend players are going to be reinvested back into these companies, and most of these middle companies don't pay dividends. Some of them do, and if they do, they're very small. And then these smaller companies, almost none of them pay dividends, and if they do, they're very, very small dividends. So let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the 44 stocks that Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway currently hold in their portfolio? They have some hits and misses with their Japanese stocks, some hits and misses with their American stocks, Kraft Heinz being one of their duds, but they've made a killing on Apple stock and Coca-Cola and Chevron. All right, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.